Okay, next item, the life safety items, capital improvements.
I do have a few things to report on this. Give me 1 minute, please.
Sure.
Just want to go back to my notes. Life safety capital improvements. Okay, so just Carrie and I and some of the building administrators are meeting tomorrow to discuss some specifics in regards to number of lockers, different things. I had Mr. Ostro fill out an Excel sheet for all the different coaches as well as the booster clubs, kind of like minimum needs and then ideal needs in relation to the locker facility, stadium facility, storage facility, concession stand, those types of items, so that Carrie has some good ideas so that she can start doing the schematic design drawings so that we can bring some drawings to the board here in October because we need to start making some decisions. The CM interviews are on Friday. There's an advisory council that's going to help myself and Carrie and Joel in that process. We'll be interviewing 4 different firms. There's a parking meeting tomorrow with the Forest Preserve and the Commissioner to get some additional work hopefully done on coming up with a shared parking agreement. Architects and engineers are meeting with MWRD on, I believe it's Thursday or Friday afternoon, to talk about some of the designs that were, the early designs that were submitted and what would need to be done with MWRD, so we should have some feedback on that within the next week. I believe that, we also have talked to, Carrie's firm is working with the Village of Brookfield to begin with the Planning Commission and going through the zoning board and whatever needs to be done in regards to that. So we're looking at if we have to do a special use permit or a special use application in the event we go with the parking lot and tennis courts on site. So Carrie's group is working with that. And I did ask the board attorney to look into, and he was going to get back to me some answers. But, you know, funding's always an issue, so I wanted to just have him look about the possibility of creating, not necessarily an RFQ, but if there was some type of literature or we can go about putting out, or what we would need to do to be in line with board policy, but also for the potential of naming rights opportunities as we look at the stadium project, new tennis courts, a new concession stand. You know, some of these high school magazines that follow different high schools across the country, you'll see that some of them open up naming right opportunities for in-kind donations and for naming rights, similar to like how we have Shuey Stadium. You know, in one school in Texas, they went as far as, you know, this was Mr. Johnson's, or the Johnson family concession stand, and then this family's visiting bleachers, and, you know, and they had dollar amounts allocated. But I mean, it's something that we might want to consider at least putting out there to see if there's any additional revenue that can come in to help support the project as we go forward. So I have the attorney kind of looking in to, if, you know, I know Vernon Hills had something done with a local company that moved into that area, so he was going to check with that and get back to me on some ideas.
Has there ever been a traffic study done on how many cars go through to the zoo using that road?
I don't know.
Why do you ask?
Because naming rights become a lot more valuable when they know that there's 10,000 visitors using that parking.
Okay.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, any questions for Kevin on this? Seeing
Putting a
none?
billboard on the side of the school there.
With red neon lights.
Yeah, with the running on saying, hey, here, eat here. I don't know.
That's,
All right, so
that's a
let's
Riverside side. I don't
Yeah,
think you can get
please.
away with it.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Let's
we
move
tried that.
Yeah, let's try that.